Manager Aaron Boone and his team came into the 2019 season with a clear mission to dominate lower-level competition. The Baltimore Orioles certainly fit that description on paper. Losing 2 out of 3 games on opening weekend to perhaps the least talented team in MLB is not sitting well with Yankees fans. In fairness, it isn't sitting well with Yankee players either. Aaron Judge already came out after the Game 2 loss and asked his teammates to play with more urgency. Unfortunately, that didn't happen in New York's listless start to their Game 3 defeat. On one hand, it's too early to panic for a team with this much talent. We're only 3 games into a 162-game march. This is certainly too small of a sample size to make massive decisions on. However, there are some things the Yankees did in their first 3 games that deserve close monitoring in the coming weeks. These are 5 things GM Brian Cashman and the Yankees Brain Trust need to keep an eye on after the disastrous opening series. To be clear, these are all overreactions at this point, but they could turn into truths before too long. 5. Injuries are already costing the Yankees games. There was a real narrative among Yankees fans heading into the season that the absences of Luis Severino, Aaron Hicks, Dellin Betances, Didi Gregorius and CC Sabathia weren't really going to cost this team wins. After 3 games, that looks like overly optimistic thinking. Obviously a healthy Severino pushes J.A. Happ out of the opening weekend rotation. Hicks starting in center field sends a struggling Brett Gardner to the bench for a game or 2. If Betances starts the year on the active roster, it likely means Stephen Tarpley starts the year in AAA. All of those changes could have allowed New York to sweep this series. Big injuries matter for the Yankees just like everyone else. This team needs to get their stars back soon. Next, 4. Greg Bird may be a 4A player. Page 2. Use your arrows to browse Tampa, Florida, March 6. Greg Bird. Louis Cardinals at Steinbrenner Field on March 6, 2019 in Tampa, Florida. Photo by Dylan Buell. Getty Images. To be clear, the best outcome for the Yankees is that both Greg Bird and Luke Voit emerge as quality starting first basemen this season. Bird's ugly start isn't increasing the probability of that occurrence. Starting the year by going 1 for 7 at the plate isn't good, but could easily be attributed to small sample size. The real concern about Bird stems from his 5 strikeouts on the young season. Remember, the Yankees didn't exactly go up against Justin Verlander and Jarrett Cole this weekend. The Orioles threw out a bunch of guys who would have struggled to generate any concrete interest in free agency. If Bird can't hit at a high level when he's healthy, he's never going to have enough value to overcome his propensity to miss games due to injury. It's too early to send him back to the minors, but he needs to turn things around in a hurry if he wants to stay in New York very much longer. That makes the upcoming series against the Tigers absolutely massive for the left-hander. He needs to mash against Detroit to make sure he can stay on the Major League roster once Hicks returns from injury. If he doesn't, his time with the Yankees may be over for good. Next, 3. J.A. Happ may be overrated. Use your arrows to browse